Today we're working on the gas tank and getting that fitted in. You know I've had some issues with it, but I ain't stopping until this thing is finally in the car permanently. Hi everybody, and welcome to the channel about kit cars and other car topics. If you like what you see, please subscribe and hit the notification buttons below and share with others on social media. So I've been having a lot of issues with the gas tank. I finally got it to fit, but then once I put the aluminum panel in, which is like nothing, you know, 1/16 of an inch, boom, all sorts of issues. Then trying to get the back trunk panel in against it, almost impossible. And so I'm going to try grinding a few other things down that are kind of in the way and see where we go. And we're just going to battle it out. We're going to make this happen. Yeah, see how tight that is? Mm-hmm. See, I have to actually go past it to get this back in. And then I gotta loosen this. I've never tried to do this with this back panel on, but I don't know how I'm gonna get this back panel in while the gas tank's already in. I just don't see it happening. That needs to come towards you.
What, my way?
Can you go your way? There we go. Yeah. This whole back panel, you could only slide it in. You can't put it on this way. Well, if this is sticking out, you can't slide it in. So.
And it has to go through the hole there.
Yeah, right, exactly. That's what the whole problem is. So,
Bump it
that's
your way?
just, well, I'm against the pole. Like, it's just too, once this panel's in, it's just way too tight. I don't think I'll get this aligned.
Okay.
I couldn't get them aligned.
Okay.
I couldn't get the tank forward enough. Even though, it's because what happened is when I don't have all this on here, I could slide the tank behind and get it forward, but I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to get this on. There's just no way. There's just no way. And so I wanted to kind of, you know, do a dry test right now, which is not happening. But if I pull this out, then the world becomes way easier. So I don't know what I'm hitting, but I need to go towards you.
It looks like it's stuck right here.
Yeah, see, that's what I need to grind down. See if I go, there we go. And see, now I can get this to come in, but it's just too tight.
Where's this line at?
I don't know yet because
there's a hole you have not drilled yet?
No, I've already drilled it, but not through the aluminum.
Okay.
And that's why we got to get these holes aligned. Once these holes are aligned, I could drill that hole. But I need to shave that down. It's just too much. Well, as you can see, I've been going at it and going at it and going at it and going at it, and I finally got the tank to fit while it has the aluminum in. And then for a while, the aluminum was pushed back so it wasn't going into the hole, so I had to kind of work it around the Colecos. But this back panel, it's not really aligning right with the door hinges, even though it's pre-cut. It's really not cut that well. So I've done a 1/4 inch, then I did another 1/4 inch, which finally got the gas tank filler tube filled in. It seems like this one side is probably decent, but I'm gonna have to actually bolt the hinges on to verify. But the other side just seems way off. So I'm gonna call it quits for tonight, but the next time I'm gonna mount those hinges and verify and see that everything is where it needs to be and modify from there. And then after that, we need to still drill in the holes for the fuel lines and everything like that. I already bought the grommets for it. And this has been a bear. You know, just slowly taking its time, but it's going okay. But you know, I kind of wanted to accomplish one thing this afternoon, and I have not. So we'll see what happens, but we're definitely getting closer. So it's another day. I've gotten a lot of parts in from all the other kind of walls that I was hitting before, but I'm going to stay the course and focus on this back end and get this thing dialed in before I move on and just try to finish something. You have to put these hinges together. That way you could verify that once it's in, that it is not hitting the 45-degree angle of the tank. And so this one is pretty much just perfect. It's not totally tightened in, so maybe it looks a little off. And then same thing on this side. I had to verify and get the tank centered so that thing perfectly sits right where that groove is. And it's really like a tight fit. You could literally go, you know, a 64th of an inch one way or a 64th of an inch another way to get it dialed in. But now that I have it dialed in, I'm going to go ahead and re-drill my holes, even though I already drilled them before without the panel. But now I have to actually drill through this panel and kind of widen these holes here because they're pretty close. So we're going to tackle that. So I was all happy that I got this in yesterday, and then I woke up this morning, I'm like, what about the rivet heads? And so I came out to check, and you could see that this tank is a little bit twisted. So it's kind of floating for the most part. And so rivet heads aren't going to be an issue at all in that area. It's over here that it's really pinned. But I think we're pretty good there. And then on this side, we have enough clearance on top that even if we did have some issues, but you could see this, you know, the whole tank is a little bit twisted. And I bet if this twist didn't exist in this tank to begin with, that this thing would have probably sat in here fine. And, you know, I've tried to actually, like, you know, push down and see if I could tilt this tank, and I can't on my own. I'm sure once I bolt it in, this will all come down, but I can't actually do it on my own. This thing's pretty solid. So I thought I was going to do some more work, and luckily I don't have to. I think we're good. The only thing that I'm missing right now is a 5/8 hole for this bit. I got it pretty close, but I think my neighbor has a 5/8, so I'm going to borrow that, pop that in, and we should be good. Hopefully I could get my lines through here because some of this stuff has some fittings on it, so however much of that fitting I could take off to get that line through and then pop it through there should be good to go. But this panel at least is ready to put product on, get it all ready for final install, and then I could actually put these parts into the tank, because right now it's so tight here I can't actually put anything on here because I have to slide the tank out this way and it won't fit. So hopefully this weekend I'll start thinking about exactly how many panels I could do and do some test spraying and do maybe some lizard skin and stuff like that. I'm not going to do everything. I'm just going to do a few panels, check it out, see what I could do, and hopefully get this permanently installed. Well, I got everything that I wanted to get done. I wanted to make sure that this tank was fitting on top of this aluminum panel. Wanted to have 3 holes drilled for putting in the vent, fuel line, and the return line. In the back, I got 2 holes going for the positive and negative battery terminals, and then 2 holes for the, J-rods or whatever that grab the battery and hold it down. I got all the panels drilled. So at this point, I could probably start coating this panel, and once I do that, I could actually permanently install this tank and go from there. So kind of excited that I finally got this done. This thing was kind of being a real big pain in the butt, but it's good to go now. And like I said, I have all the stuff for my front fenders and all the AN fittings for my fuel lines, and all that stuff finally came in that I was kind of hitting the wall with. And so I'm just going to tackle it one project at a time, do small little sessions, and get everything done. But with this car, it's one of those things that if you could spend even 10 minutes a day doing something or thinking about it or visualizing or ordering something or whatever, it's just momentum moving forward. And I've kind of realized that. And then one of my friends who's built 2 of these and painted 4 of them, the other day he's like, man, all I could say is if you could spend 10 minutes a day. And I'm like, yeah, exactly. So he goes, otherwise you'll just never move forward. And so that's kind of where I'm at. The other big thing that I'm kind of worried about is getting all these computers installed behind my dash. And when I went over to my friend's place, he just so happened to have the 35 pickup truck sitting there that he just painted for somebody. And I noticed that some of this stuff they're actually installing in the actual engine bay and not behind the dash. So I'm going to investigate that a little bit, see where I can move stuff. Of course, I have my dryer for the AC. I have the fuel regulator. I'm also doing remote coils. And so there's a lot of space already been taken up. So we're just going to have to figure it out. And I don't think I'll be able to figure any of that out until the engine's actually sitting in there and I see where it goes. And I might have to move the power steering unit because it might be hitting the oil pan. I have one of the lowest profile oil pans made, so hopefully it clears, but we'll just have to see when we get there. So I'm really excited I got this all finished up, and till next time, we'll tackle one of the next issues.